Hello everybody and welcome to the Goofy Review. I am the host, the Goofy Newfie. In today's episode I am going to be discussing with you is it efficient to have a 120 volt welder in your home. I purchased one a few years ago. It is 120 volt FCAW. For those of you who don't know what FCAW is, it is fluxcore arc welder. It's basically a fluxcore MIG, and it only runs on 120 volts, so it doesn't put out what you need to weld really thick materials. But for just a home use purpose, it works pretty good for me. The little bit of household welding that I do on trailers and stuff like that, auto body, any kind of little things I do, I don't need a big powerful MIG welder. And for auto body and stuff, a 120 is perfect. You're not going to burn through your steel too easily unless you really put an effort into burning it. And what it is a gasless welder. It does not have gas. I'll show you the tip here. It's not like a regular MIG tip. Your nozzle actually sticks out of your tip here. This is my nozzle. You see a little bit of wire sticking out, a little tiny bit of spatter on the end, and this is my nozzle. And on a regular gas welder, the nozzle sticks out past your tip, and it has an opening all the way around for gas to shield your weld from the environments, from the oxygen and the air and stuff, so you don't get porosity in your weld. But this one is a flux core, and the flux actually acts the same as the gas. It protects your weld, but you have to have the special tips and stuff in order to weld with it. And the flux core 120 volt comes with it. Mine I bought from Canadian Tire. It is Mastercraft. I'll give you a peek here. This is my welder. As you can see, Mastercraft flux core wire feed welder. It doesn't have a whole lot of settings, but you're on and off here. Hear it firing up. You got your settings, your maximum, your minimum. You got a 1, 2, and your wire feed. Here's your overload indicator light. It come with some Lincoln gel. Let's open it up here, and I'll show you the inside. So here you have the recommended settings. They're kind of basic. I don't mind it. Like here we got 1/8 inch will give you a wire speed of 6, maximum of 2 on your heat settings. The metal I'm going to use for my little test here is actually 1/4 inch, and I'm only using a wire setting of 5. Here's your wire. They're just small little rolls. It's nothing big. It's a pretty basic welder. Here's your where your wire runs through your feeder. Here's your overload. If it ever gets overloaded, you just reset it here. It comes with a few extra tips. It shows you how to put the wire through your feeder. Pretty basic. Here's where your ground wire and your feeder wire. So as you can see, it is a real basic welder. It's not too bad of a price either. I think I got this one on sale for a little over 300 bucks Canadian. It's quite a deal. I'm gonna show you here now what I'm going to be doing for the test weld, so you guys can see how good this welder actually is for at-home use. Here is the piece of steel that I'm going to be welding. I have it welded to my workstation right now, where I have my ground wire attached, so it gets a better ground, and my piece is not moving while I'm doing my welding. As you can see, it's 1/4 inch thick, both pieces. It's T-joint, because I don't have the equipment required to do a bend test on other type of welds. So you do a T, you weld this one side, is what you do. You put your tack on both ends, you weld this one side, and then once it's ready, you take it, you turn it on its side, so both of these ends are on your hard surface or floor or whatever have you. And you take your sledgehammer and you beat the living crap out of this end, so your piece folds itself over to be as flat as can be to see if it will break. And this right here is 1/4 inch. As you can see, that weld right there is pretty. They're very small welds. The wire is only a 0.03, so it is a pretty skinny wire. The stuff we use at work is a 0.045. It runs on a much hotter scale, much larger welder. The weld is pretty small, so for material this thick, I'm going to do a triple pass to give it the reinforcement, because the weld is pretty small because the wire is small. So I'm going to get started here and do this weld. Get my gear on. Most of my gear is at work. These are not the proper gloves for welding with. You could quite possibly burn your hands pretty bad if you don't know what you're doing. Before I get started, I'm going to let you know this is a rental place that I'm living in right now, and it doesn't have the greatest power, and I have had this welder trip my breaker in this place when it's set on maximum 2, like it is right now. So hopefully I can do this without tripping the breaker and actually get this video completed. Here goes. And there it goes. Okay, because I don't want that to happen again, I turned my wire speed down to 3 3/4 and I put it on maximum 1 instead of maximum 2. Because I don't want to have to keep going in the house to fix the breakers when I'm only doing about 1/4 of what I want to weld. Always clean before you re-weld. You don't want to get slag in your weld or you'll get a crappy weld. Hopefully this doesn't trip the breaker no more. Okay, I was able to fully finish the first pass. Now clean it completely off before you start again. Next one goes below it. The whole thing does throw off a lot of spatter. And after all that, it still did it. Well, that was the end of the weld anyway, guys. I'll see you when I do the bend. Hi guys, well here we are. I got my piece all welded up for you guys. It's got a triple pass. It's hard to see the way the light is, but I'm gonna smash the living bejesus out of it here now with the hammer. I don't have a sledgehammer, I just got this one. If it don't work, I'm going to use the backside of an axe. Always wear eye protection so you don't lose an eye. Okay. There's the piece. that right. What is it? Yeah, sits like that. We'll try the axe. A little bit harder of an object for hitting. It seems like this weld's pretty damn good if you ask me. Yeah, well, guys. Okay, guys, so the weld. As you could tell from all that beating and bashing that I was doing, so, guys, as you can tell from all that smashing and bashing that I was doing there, that little 120 volt welder will do whatever sufficient welding you need to do in your home. As long as you're a good welder, you know what you're doing, and you have to crank this machine. I tried turning it down to do other things. It doesn't weld proper. It just balls the steel up and balls it up. Says you can do a minimum 1 with a wire speed of 2. I tried it. There's not a chance you're going to weld anything with that. So I suggest, like, this, apparently you're not even supposed to be able to weld steel this thick with it because it's just not meant for it. But this is a pretty damn good hold if you ask me. I'm actually mashing the steel there with the hammer, as you can see, and this thing is not gonna budge. So it's pretty strong. I give it a good 2 thumbs up for a little small welder at home. So if you need to do any trailer work, auto body work, anything like that with a little welder, I would recommend getting a little 120 volt MIG welder fluxcore. You don't have to pay for gas. All you gotta buy is the wire when you run low, and the wire is not that expensive. They come in little 5-pound rolls. You can even get 10-pound rolls, I think, for they're a little bit more expensive, but it's double the size. So I think this is a pretty good review for the Mastercraft 120 volt fluxcore welder. Bye bye, guys. I hope you liked the goofy reviews. Well, that's it for it, guys. I hope you liked that video and check out these other ones, eh? I dare ya. They're pretty good. Hope you left some good comments. Hit the thumbs up. Left the subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now.